Okay, I'm back and I've restarted my computer. So now my Citrix receiver should be installed. I went back to Google again, typed in WCUPA space RAM cloud, and I'm going back to this website to see what step 2 is. So once again, I'll scroll down, I'll go to Windows, and it tells me, okay, that's what it tells me. So I'm on to step 2. Okay, so here we go. Now it wants me to log in and register with cloudstorage.wcupa.edu to link my OneDrive to RamCloud. So this is a little bit different. So let's look at this together. So I think this is a new thing that they did this year. So then we'll click Authorize to do the linking. And it's going to be OneDrive for Business. Okay. All right, so let's do this. So we're going to go to cloud storage.wcupa.edu, which I think I'll just copy. Okay, I'll hit enter, maybe, enter. Yep, okay, wonderful. So it looks like I can link my storage now, my online storage, to my RAM cloud, which is actually really handy. In the past, one difficulty students have had is actually finding their work on RAM cloud. So I think this is going to help. So once again, I'm just going to log in. So it goes to a login screen, just like any other login screen. So you'd put your username up here, your password here. I'm going to pause recording while I do that, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I just logged in. Like I said, like I'd log into my email or anything else. And I see this OneDrive for Business. And I'm going to click Authorize. Okay, so now once again, I have to log in. Okay, so I logged in again, and it's now asking me if I would like to stay signed in, which I think I'm going to on my computer. I feel safe about that. It's up to you whether you feel the same way. Okay, now I have my green check mark next to OneDrive for Business. That means I am in business, and I can move on to step 3. So I'm going, this time I didn't have to restart, so my tab stayed up here. Here's my RAM Cloud tab, my instructional tab. I did step 1, I did step 2. I'm going to go to step 3, which is logging into RAM Cloud. Okay. Okay, I haven't signed in yet because there's one quick thing I want to show you. When you go to step 3 to log into RAM Cloud, it takes you down here. This is just a picture. So you actually have to go to this link to your left. Then it's going to open up your actual place where you can log in. So hopefully none of you get caught on that like I did, but in case you do, that's how you solve it. Okay, so I logged in. It's saying welcome to Citrix Receiver, and I want to share with you, you won't have to do this every single time. You'll just be able to skip straight to step 3, which is to go to the receiver. So I'm going to click Detect Receiver, and then I'm going to click Open Link. See, it says the Citrix Workspace Launcher. That's what I want, so I'm going to click Open Link. And then I need to add some apps. Okay. So we click on the apps, and I just want to show you some of the things that are available in addition to SPSS. Some of these are really nice programs that might be useful to you, including all the Microsoft programs. So you see Excel, Access, PowerPoint, OneNote, Project Publisher, and Word. So a lot of those nice things. It actually also has Adobe Acrobat, which is a super nice program if you're interested. But we're not interested in any of that today, at least not right now. So sorry about that. What I'm going to show you instead is under S. So you scroll all the way down to the bottom, you get to SPSS Statistics. So that is the one I'm going to add. It asks me to open the link. I'm going to click Remember My Choice for receiver link. So let's see if that does anything. And now it's working to start SPSS. Incidentally, I can, by hitting the star there, I could actually make this a favorite link for going forward, a favorite. Now you see under favorites, it has my SPSS. So that's pretty nice too. Okay. So now my SPSS is trying to start. Now, one of the issues that I have found before with SPSS on the Citrix receiver is that it does take a little bit of time to start, and it might depend on the speed of your computer as well. Okay, but it looks like it did start. I'm going to just tell you that it's working with version 24. That is not the most updated version, but it should be just fine for our purposes. So you'll generally get this screen in front that I'm kind of highlighting right here, and all you have to do is X out of it. So you see the X in the upper right hand corner, you hit the X, and now I have my actual SPSS screen, which I'm going to fill the page with. Okay, this is great. So now we have our actual SPSS program ready to run. And notice how this part kind of almost looks like an Excel spreadsheet, right? But it's going to be a little bit different because we're going to have our variables always in columns and our individual people or cases or what have you in the rows. Okay. So what you're actually going to do in class is go through this exercise of learning how to do some data entry using this tool. But I want to show you a few quick things that I think you may find a little bit helpful as you go through. So in the exercise, it asks you about cat and dog preferences, and you're going to do some data entry around that. So why don't we do fish and turtle? So let's say person 1 prefers fish. Okay. Person 2 prefers fish. Person 3 prefers as a pet turtles. Well, I just tried to type in turtle and it wouldn't let me. In fact, it stopped right after church. So that's not good. So I'm wondering if you can just think about it to yourself if you happen to know why that happened. Okay, so let me tell you. What's going on is as soon as I type in the first piece of information here, the fish, it assumes, oh, well, you're only ever going to need 4 characters. So that's all I'm going to give you is 4 characters. Well, that's not very good. Plus, this is a weird name for a variable. I'll expand it out so you can actually see it. It's just var 0000001. So I don't like that. So to change this kind of stuff, what we're going to do is go to the second tab on the bottom. So you notice how this data view tab is now highlighted in yellow, and it's really nice that we can see this is our data view. Okay, but now we're going to go to the second tab of variable view. And as opposed to calling it var001, I'm going to call it pet. Now let's say I would rather call it pet preference. So I put in a space, I type in preference, and it's going to get mad at me in just a second. I'll show you. See what it happens? It says variable name contains an illegal character. I hit OK. The thing is, for variable names, there are a few rules. One, you can't start with a number. And two, you can't have any spaces or any other kind of atypical characters. It only wants either letters or numbers throughout, okay? And you can't start with a number, but I could have a number in it. So for example, now I'll do pet underscore preference, and I'll call it 1, just for fun. And lo and behold, I'll make this a little wider so you can see. It's called pet preference 1. It had no problems with that. Okay. Now, it has this as a string variable. What does that mean? That means that I'm using letters or numbers to enter information in here, okay? It means I'm not just using pure number variables. And you can see there's a whole bunch of different choices as to the variable type. And right now we're doing string. So I'm going to cancel out of this for now. By the way I got to that is I just clicked on the 3 dots here that will appear in a lot of these, like in, if I can find another one, in values, where you can actually control things. Okay. So string. Okay, and then you can see the problem here. The width is 4. I'd like to actually change that to 8. So I do that. And now when I go back to my data view, now it'll let me type in the rest of turtle, right? And it would even let me type in 2 more digits, but no more. That would be 8 characters. Now, here's the problem with entering things in string. It's going to view all these different fish items I just entered in as different beasts. So one person prefers fish capitalized F-I-S-H, and 2 people prefer fish with all lowercase, 1 person prefers fish like this, and 1 person prefers fish like this. So in other words, it's case sensitive. Just like passwords, it's case sensitive. So that can be a little bit of an annoyance for using things as a string variable, and I'm going to show you a way around that. Not saying string variables are never used, but I try to avoid them as much as I possibly can because of this and because of some other reasons that string variables aren't the best. So instead of this, I'm going to clear this out by just highlighting and hitting my delete button. Yes, all cases are removed. That's true. And now I'm going to use 1 for fish and 2 for turtle, like so. Great. That was easy. Now the only thing I'm going to do under variable view is I'm going to switch this from string to numeric. And now I get a choice of how wide it is and how many decimal places I would like. I don't need any decimal places for this. I just have 1s and 2s, so I'll leave the decimal places at 0, but I could increase that however much I like. And label is cool because I can make it as long as I like. I can put in any, keep doing that M, any characters I like, and it doesn't care. I can do whatever I like here. It's just a nice place to further describe my variable. Okay, now we come to values. Now this is going to be really handy because you know how I just entered those 1s and 2s, right? Well, how am I going to remember 5 years from now that 1 meant fish and 2 meant turtle? Well, maybe I don't care, but if I do, here's how you do it. Notice again, I'm going to cancel out so I can just show you how I went to the right side, click those 3 little dots, and I'm going to enter 1 means fish. So I put the 1 by value, the fish by label, and I click add. Then I put 2 turtle, and I click add. Then I click OK, and it's going to hold on to that information for me. It's going to tell me that 1 is fish and 2 is turtle in any analysis that I do. Now, let's say in this fish turtle survey, I'm going to go back to my data view real quick, that 2 people didn't respond. They left it blank. Now, I could just leave it blank, but something handy I could do is I could say, well, I'm going to make 9 blank, or I'm going to make 999 mean blank. Well, how am I going to remember that? Go back to variable view. This time I'm going to go to the missing column, and I'm going to click discrete, and I'm going to enter 999. Then I'm going to click OK. Now, what this is going to tell SPSS is that if you ever see a 999, don't add and subtract and divide all that. Just know it's missing. Just know it's missing. And then finally, I'll just show you to the right over here. What kind of measure is this? You can put that in. That can be helpful. Is this a nominal, ordinal, or scale measure? Notice they don't break out interval and ratio here. It's just nominal, ordinal, or scale. So the choice between fish or turtle, does that have any natural order to it? I don't think so. So I'm going to leave it at nominal. And the role, I pretty much always leave it input. Okay, so now I'm going to flip one more time back to data view. Here's all my information. Now, if I click what's called the little toe tag, and you're going to see this written in the little activity that you'll do in class, it's this A1 thing. Okay, so it's across the top, A1. If I click it, notice it goes to fish, fish, turtle, 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 and it leaves the 999s alone because they're not really defined. I could change that. So I'll click back here, go to variable view once more, and where I had fish and turtle, I could add 999 means missing and add that in and hit OK. Now if I click back to data view and click my toe tag again, now it shows that they're missing. Okay. Now it still would have counted the 999s as missing. It's just a matter if you want to see that word missing there, you have to enter it under values. Okay. So hopefully that is a helpful introduction to what you need to do with your activity in class, and a helpful introduction to SPSS in general. So that's all I have for you guys for today. I wish you well, and I'll see you next time.